welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is the Sujata and Coach Les Life's podcast videocast. And we are here tonight to talk a little bit about sharing your favorite holiday story or nightmare. Yes, we are going to have fun tonight and talking about some of the things as we get close to the holiday season. What are the things to look out for, and how do we deal with the holiday nightmare? Oof. And I am here today with my favorite podcast co-host, Sujata Tiwari, who wrote a book, Sujata. This is Against All Odds. No retakes, no manuals, real life lessons. Sujata has accumulated a wealth of experiences during her life, leading to insights and knowledge that cannot be coached or taught in a class. She's a mother, a wife, a journalist, a consultant, an activist, a leader, and businesswoman domestically and internationally. In sharing her story, Sujata strives to provide readers of all backgrounds in any part of the world with real-life examples on how to deal with the unpredictable nature of everyday life. And this evening, we will be delving into parts of the book and sharing different parts of how her stories of life have impacted her. And my name is Coach Les. I'm an integrity coach. My commitment is to transform the world through communication. Through helping others realize their untapped potential for improvement, I have led training and development programs for over 2 decades. And during this time, I have coached thousands of people. I have expertise and experience in designing and implementing entertaining and educational curriculums for troubleshooting and calming the waters of turbulent situations. And I'm skilled at helping people create positive results in their professional and personal lives. I'm also a Ziegler Legacy certified coach and speaker with a DISC personality behavior certificate. And I look forward tonight to sharing whatever wisdom I can, as well as my stories of life and the way it impacts us as we go through day-to-day life stories. Tonight's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm so happy to be here. We are currently live here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and also on Clubhouse, the newest social media app that has millions of people in it. That is an audio-only app with pictures, and it's a little bit like a podcast that allows you to jump up on stage and share with people up on stage. So we are excited to have a few people come in, and they'll be bopping in and out throughout the course of the evening. And we invite you, if you're hearing this or listening to this, to come and check it out. Come and see it. Until you have experienced it, you have no idea. So with that, I'm going to introduce and pass the mic to Sujata Tiwari.
Thank you, Coach Les, as always, with your kindness and generosity. You never, what should I say, you never stint with words of praise. And not many people do that. So I have to appreciate you always. So, like we discussed the last time about the holiday, the best laid plans uh, can turn out a disaster because it depends on who you're going with and if there is a change to your plans. For example, if you were going to um, Sunnyside Beach or something, and the weather conditions make it impossible for you to do that, and you have gone all the way out of your, city or home country, and it doesn't turn out that way, that is a disaster. But when it comes to going in groups and all that, also, can have its own sets of problems because 5 in a group may want to do 5 different things, and with the time schedule management, it becomes difficult unless there's a clear understanding that, look, we will go some exercises, events we will do together, and some we will do on our own. many a times that doesn't happen, and matching expectations, as we all know, is a huge task. So yes, so I have gone on holidays which have been impromptu and on the spur of the moment with no planning, and with kids, and with practically very little money, but we have gone there. Then we have also gone for planned holidays where it has been enjoyable or memorable because it was associated with some kind of an event, and it was a family get together. That's a different thing. And then there have been some where I've gone on a holiday all excited and it has turned out bad because of the relationship of the host and the guest. I would be the guest, and the host would be, say, my uncle and aunt. And yeah, so you can have good memories, or you can have bittersweet memories, or you can have memories which tell you, I'm not going for a holiday with so and so ever again. That's my share for now. I can't hear you here very well on StreamYard.
Yes, that's because I muted. I apologize.
Now I can hear you.
Yep. I was going to say, I thank you. I thank you for being here and sharing with us. Um, I'm excited to talk about this because I've done a lot of vacationing with my parents over the holiday periods and look forward to sharing. But I do want to welcome Nikita Fitz, to the stage and give her an opportunity to share. Welcome, Nikki. How are you tonight?
Um, well, I'm good. Not the honest answer, but I'm great. How you doing?
So you're gonna fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, well, I'm giving it a go. But it is so not working out. Yeah, but I'll mention that later. So the holiday thing. Yeah, so I had my baby. Really, really excited. Although, like, she got taken away right from the very beginning because she was sick, so she had to go in the little cubicle, so I didn't even get to hold her. So never got to hold her in the beginning. And all we got to do was kind of try to stick our hand in a little bit through the little cube that she was in. And then I had to leave the hospital without her, and then go back and get her. This has a point. And then my alcoholic husband took a switchblade to my throat one night, and I had been feeding her, but I put her down because he was like taunting me and being difficult. And so I decided, like, I had put up with it when it was just us, but with her I was just like, I'm not gonna deal with it. And she had this big strawberry hemangioma on her face, which, doesn't really affect her health or whatever, but it's like difficult to watch on your child, especially. She didn't cry much, but when she did cry, I was like, it's gonna blow, because it's this big red thing like right next to her eye. And so I was just like, it's gonna pop. But I knew it wouldn't really, but like, it just doesn't make you feel good. You're like, stop crying. But actually, it's amazing. You can't even tell it's there because they did laser treatment on it, and she took, I don't know, I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. But yeah, we have some really, really amazing doctors in Connecticut, like around Hartford, Connecticut. We have some really great doctors, I've just got to say, because I don't really compliment the state much, but I am grateful for that. We're very lucky. And so anyways, then, he goes to the hospital and he says that I'm suicidal and taking pills. Well, not suicidal, and taking pills as medication, like I'm supposed to, like as prescribed, but not like, excessively or anything like that. I was perfectly fine. But once you have a mental health label, then it's like the fact that he's an alcoholic and drank like 30 cans of beer a night every day, that didn't matter because I had a mental health label and was like in treatment. They looked at me, and so I became the problem. But I didn't get that. I didn't know that because I was stupid. I was just like, I was so honest. I just took it as like, they came in, like DCF shows up at like 8 a.m. after like all that had gone down. And so, I didn't lose her right away, but I don't remember exactly how it went down, but a few months later I lost her. But the Christmas thing, we went to my mom's and I was holding her, and like she had that large strawberry hemangioma. And this guy said, "Oh, wow, you're doing really good. What'd you drop her on her head and kick her already?" And oh my God, it took all my everything to not go over and like just knock him down and kick him in the head. And like everyone was just like, "Nikki, don't." Like everyone stopped and looked at me, and they were just like, "What is she gonna do or say? Like, we don't know if she's gonna do something or say something." Because I mean, any mother at that point would, like, even no matter how nice you are, after you're like, you've gone through stuff and like you're in the process of dealing with DCF, like that's not the first thing you want to hear on like, "Oh, I think it was Thanksgiving," and like I'm trying to be grateful and everything, and like that's what you hear. I was like, wow. But I think he had some holes in his head or he had some surgery done or something. But he always was a nasty, like, skeevy guy. Like, he was the type of guy that he'd come over to you and stand next to you, and you'd just feel dirty, and like it was just like creepy. So he was gross. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, that really, really bothered me. So I was trying to think of a happy story because I didn't want to just have all bad. But really, every holiday is like exactly the same. So yeah, that's too bad. Holidays aren't my thing. There are a few holidays I just didn't go, and I stayed home alone in my apartment.
How have your holidays when you were a kid? How were your holidays when you were young?
Those were a little better. They still weren't great. I'm not really a big family person, or I haven't been, although, like, as I'm getting older and, like, there's health issues and stuff, I'm finding the value in appreciating having family, that you can call on, because I don't really, like, now I'm divorced twice, and so I don't have any friends, and so I don't have anybody that like can help me. And when there are issues, like, you do kind of need help, like you need somebody that you can call on, and you don't have to keep bugging the same person. So so I'm finding the value in family now, but I never really liked it. But it was cool. My grandmother always had like a really big, large, tall tree, and there's so many of us with all the kids and aunts and uncles and everything all together, and all the gifts. So that was a lot of fun. That we did that on Christmas Eve, so that way everybody could have their individual family Christmases by themselves. And so So yeah, so that was fun because, you know, I got to see my cousins and stuff, and we all, I think we enjoyed that much more when we were younger, definitely. Yeah, you enjoy everything so much more when you're younger. You haven't gone through, you don't have all the baggage. You haven't gone through everything and, you know, had everything destroyed on you, and like break down on you. So yeah, but yeah, so you're right, that is a much happier time. And actually, one other thing was, I don't think we ever went there in the weekends. I mean, I'm sorry, in the holidays. But my grandparents had a cottage and at a beach in New Hampshire, and so, and it was fun when a lot of us were there at the same time. Very crowded, very hard to, like, one bathroom, very, very difficult to find places to go. But you know, that was a lot of fun, and they would play cards and stuff, and then we'd be able to go for walks, and there are all these little shops to go to, and then the beach we could walk to the beach. It was like just right there. So that was a childhood thing that has a lot of amazing memories. One of my favorites was my cousin and I walked onto the beach. It must have been in the fall or something, and there were like 50 or 100 sand dollars, like whole sand dollars, just laid out on the beach. It was like beautiful, and you know, there was nobody around, and we were like, do we pick them up, do we not pick them up? So we did it. We actually picked up some of them, because it was like, you know, wow, this is magical, like you never find this, you know. So that was exciting. But by the way, to put you on the spot with my fake it till you make it thing, do you ever take pro bono cases if it's someone's in a really, really tough situation and they've really been through a lot and they're kind of just like holding on, doing everything they can, but nothing's working?
Well, what I can tell you is that I do enough rooms here on Clubhouse that if you come to some of the rooms, especially as we're going into the holidays here next Wednesday, I'll be starting a Zig Ziglar goal setting room where you could come into the room and create your goals, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, I don't want to be suicidal, so I'm trying not to be, but I'm like,
If
I'm
I
kind
may
of
say
there,
so,
but not there. And I wouldn't do it because I have that daughter, you know, like I wouldn't do it because I have her, but like my life is just like, it's honestly just that bad. Like I lost everything. I don't have anything. And it's like, I mean, it's just gotten so pointless, and I don't even know exactly where to start to fix it
Nikki,
anymore. Like I've been trying and I don't even know where to fix it.
Nikki,
Yeah.
if you want, you can always talk to me. You can back channel me and we can exchange numbers and you can talk to me if you want.
Okay. Who said that?
Sujata.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Like I wouldn't ask if it weren't becoming very necessary. I was trying to get ketamine done Well, I tried at this one place where they do it by nasal spray, and this other place that does it intravenously, and it was perfect because like it works for pain and for for depression. But because I'm bipolar, I can't have it. Like, even though I'm depressed, they won't give it to me because I'm bipolar. And like the thing is, I'm more of a like a depressive bipolar or like a mixed state kind of thing. Not like I used to have some hypomanias when I was younger, but like because everything has been so bad in my life, that hasn't really happened. So, and so it's like I'm being punished. I tried to get ECT in the Institute of Living. I went in there twice. That didn't work either time. They wouldn't give it to me. And so that, yeah, and it was a horrible, horrible experience. Like, I mean, my brain split. So that was because I had a lithium toxicity. And like I had it for a long time. It was like my level was 1 point.
Oh, she popped off. Not sure where she went. Hopefully she'll be back. Sorry, Sujata.
What for?
I don't know where she went. She popped off.
Well, that's okay. Whatever happened, I'm sure she should come back. But we can go on to Suzanne and Diana.
Hi, Suzanne. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Coach.
We have a
I
fun.
hope you're well.
I am doing phenomenal. Thank you for asking. We have a fun topic tonight. Are you ready?
Oh, yes. What's that?
Share your favorite holiday story or nightmare.
Well, nightmares at the moment because I don't have anyone to share holidays with. So, and I'm a single person by myself, so things just don't get shared. I'm creating new holiday things to do. So, my life is rather interesting at the moment, but I think that my childhood holidays were always good. When I was growing up. So, it was always lots of cousins, lots of everything, making sure that, my dad was one of 9 kids, so there were always lots of cousins around. And we had lots of fun. Barbecues in the backyard, all the seafood, all the mud crab, everything like that, And then as I got older, there'd always be the waifs and strays my parents would adopt and bring in. If we had any friends that were alone for the holidays, they'd be there for Boxing Day. So that was always a good tradition, and one that I've done a few times to make sure that people aren't alone at Christmas time.
That's awesome. Now, do you have any in the magazine that you write, The Circuit? Have you ever had any fun stories that you can share with us from that magazine about the holidays?
I actually hadn't written anything about the holidays for them yet. Maybe I should. But no, but it's something that is talked about because the guys always talk about the balance between family and their job. And you know, too many of them have missed out on holidays, on birthdays, on, you know, school recitals and all that type of thing. So it is always interesting to talk about. And some of them say that they have Christmas early. Depends on which faith they are. I have a few friends in the security industry that are Jewish, so they get Hanukkah, which is much earlier than Christmas. You know, some of them have had to have Christmas early with their families, and others have gone, you know, we'll have it after. Some of them do a Russian Orthodox Christmas, because Christmas, you know, can span out to the 6th of January with the Russian Orthodox holiday, so they can, you know, there's always a time to pick and choose, I think.
Well, I'd love for us to be able to hear your, if you do write something, I'd love to get a chance to read it, since we...
Oh, I would get it out there. Don't worry. It'd be on my LinkedIn page and everything. So, you know, if that's all, it'd get out there. I think I might have to write one. I usually write an etiquette and protocol and stuff, but I think that with the holidays coming up, I might write one for, probably not the next one, but maybe the one after, and see what happens, and see how the guys, you know, I'll do an ask around with all the guys and some of the girls too, and ask them what they do for the holidays, how they cope, and go from there. Do my research properly.
I love it. What do you think, Sujata?
I think that's a very interesting thing to write about it. You know, I mean, that's another way to share. And yeah, I look forward to it whenever you take the plunge.
I mean, security, especially when you're at that level, is very much like, you know, being in the forces anywhere in the world. You know, you're going to miss out on something, especially when you're out in the sandpit or whatever, or you're away from family because you're doing training or something like this. And I think that families that are with those types of, you know, in those types of areas are to be commended for being able to cope as much as they do with all of that.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Well, we've just had Remembrance Day in Australia and Veterans Day in the US. So, you know, it's a time to think about the men and women that have served and are still serving and are missing out on so much of their families' lives, whether it's their kids or whether it is, you know, the families that they were born into. So, you know, it is a time to reflect and to actually think about the men and women who do serve.
So let's take a moment now to pass the mic over to Diana. Hi, Diana. How are you doing this evening? Mic check.
Sorry about that. I was like three screens away.
No worries. I understand.
I'm good. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good. Looking forward to this. And before I jump in past the mic, I just I'm going to share. There's a story that was shown. given to us on Facebook that I'd love to share, and then I'll hand the mic over to you. Trila Juliet, I'm old and divorced, and my mom and older sister are in heaven. So that's my only verbal thing I can say about the holidays. See family while they're alive. I'm 43 and almost no one is left. I don't remember my life much since my traumatic brain injury, but I'm sure I could have done more back in the day. Any tidbits I remember, I try to reenact and hold true. I don't remember my nightmares or highlights. Guys, careful what you wish for. Remembering is a blessing more than old Neela ever knew. Ooh, there you go. There you go, Diana. I pass the mic to you after that one. Woo!
Great, thanks a lot. Well, here, so first I have to say it's Diana because it's Spanish vowels. And
Diana, okay.
you know, I had such an interesting relationship with holidays because since my parents were both self-employed, it was a really big deal for us all to stay in our pajamas.
Nice.
On holidays. And so we did. We stayed in our pajamas all day. And Dad was in his pajamas, Mom was in her pajamas. And then it became a thing where my mom got, for each Christmas, she would find the softest set of pajamas for me and my mom and my sister. She would get each of us just the softest pajamas she could find. And she started doing that for my kid too. So we all enjoyed our pajama days. And it was back east. We're in Colorado, and we were like orphans out here. My dad's family's in South America, and so it was we didn't spend holidays with extended family. So when I was 17 still when I went to Bolivia, and I just totally fell in love with being with family. And I stayed there. My mom actually had to come and get me because I kept extending my ticket. She finally had to come and get me to come home because I just loved it so much. But when I go to Bolivia, I really get to be with my extended family. And my dad always, when he would go home, there was just, he was really good at getting everybody out to go get together and go to each other's houses. And a lot of times those things didn't happen while he wasn't there. So I really enjoy keeping that tradition, and getting people out of their routines is fun, and I think they welcome it as a little nudge. So now we have holidays with my boyfriend's family. They're local.
Nice.
Here, and so I always longed for it. I really always longed for it, but we made it. It was cozy because we didn't make that big of a deal of going out or anything. But the pajamas was the special part. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for sharing. Sujata, anything you want to say to the pajama part?
No, I don't have any such experiences, but I think it would have been exciting and it would have been nice if I had that experience. It's good to hear.
So that is it's making me smile because that is the one thing that when I met Kristen, my current wife, and her family, they get together at Christmas. And on Christmas morning is present opening. And we all descend on one home. And it's usually the oldest daughter's because she's got dogs she's looking after and she doesn't want to leave. So we go there. And the tradition is to show up in some type of sweats. So the first year we had matching sweats, and they were in honor of my daughter, who was a Timberwolves cheerleader at the time. So we both had Timberwolves cheerleader sweats / sleeping wear, and went over. And it was like being 8, 9 years old again. Pass out the presents, and everybody gets to open a present one at a time. Everybody watches, listens, takes photos, watches the reaction. And so when you were sharing that, I was just reminiscing, and I'm super excited. It's one of the things I look forward to for Christmas, is that whole experience. Especially this past Christmas, when we had a little present and we put it into like 9 different boxes. And the last box was huge. It was probably 3 feet by 3 feet. And to watch them get into it. And then probably the 3rd box in was a shoe box. And I literally taped and duct taped the entire shoebox twice. So getting into it was watching that was probably one of the most entertaining things at Christmas time that I've ever had.
You're such a stinker. That's so funny. The tape and the duct tape. I used to like to I'd have so many presents for my kid, and then all individually wrapped, all the little, even the little tiniest thing, even one candy. So there were so many things. And then I had a tiny little Christmas tree and big giant ornaments on it. So my Christmas tree was probably just 3 feet tall, but it was one of those fiber optic ones. And then I had 4 big giant like cantaloupe size ornaments on there, and I thought that was hilarious. So it was just so out of balance. And sometimes I would leave the tree up all year, and I would decorate it with different things. Like I could put hearts on it for Valentine's Day and egg stuff on it for Easter, and I'd leave it up all the time. We just decorate it for something else because it wasn't too obtrusive because it was a little tree. So that was fun too. I do it for the whole year. We kept it up and just put different things on it. And when she was little, that was fun too. So I can just imagine you rascal with your big giant box and a tiny little present in the middle. That's a funny idea.
Oh, it's awesome. It's so much fun because as they finally figure out that they're going to be opening boxes for a while, that's when it becomes funny, because now they're like, so how many more do I have? And you just smile and watch. And then she got smart and grabbed a knife and dug in. And I said, be careful, be careful. And it was a little tiny jewelry box. So it was a ton of fun. And
that's funny. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. Sujata, any experiences like that?
At the moment that I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and welcome everybody. Welcome Robert, David, Craig, Omar. Good to see you all. Feel free to come on up on stage if you feel that you want to come up and share. We're dealing with the question, share your favorite holiday story or nightmare. And so with that,
I have a meeting in the technology house. So thank you for pinging me in here. Appreciate the invitation.
you are very welcome. Look forward to connecting. Hopefully we'll be able to connect again.
I think we will.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Sujata.
Bye.
All right. Michelle Trado.
Hi,
Hello. How are you? Michelle, you're on mute.
Hi, I just got home. I saw Dr. Jeremiah today. He was in, he came to Buffalo, and it was very good, actually. It was awesome. So I get to sit in the front, and I had a good time. You said that your worst times of the holiday, or you want me to mention one was the worst?
Yes.
Talk about Christmas?
Of course. Either best or the worst, whatever you'd like to share.
All right. The worst Christmas was losing my husband because it happened in December. And actually he died 21, 22, 23, 24. He died 4 days before Christmas. And he died the day before our wedding anniversary. It would have been it would have been 8, 9, it would have been 10 years. If he was still alive, we would have been married 10 years. So, but the best of the Christmases I had with him while he was alive. So, it's all good. It's all good. And, how should I say it? I'm doing well. I'm healing. And, Christmas is going to be difficult, like I was saying before, but I'm going to be okay. I did very well. I'm going to be okay. So there you go, Coach.
Awesome. Awesome. Sujata, anything for Michelle?
So a hug to you, Michelle, for the sad part, but like we were talking about, that you have good and bad memories, right? And I think we remember both of them, and remember that things are not always the same. So we go through life experiences, some are not of our choice and some that we can remember fondly. That's what I wanted to say to you.
Thank you very much. And I got home safely, so it was all good.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I just want to do a quick shout out to Omar and David. If you guys would like to come up and share with us your favorite holiday story or nightmare story, we'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, Sujata, do you have any powerful... So I'm... yeah, I think the worst Christmas I've ever had... I'm trying to think, would probably have been 2015, December of 2015, getting back from overseas and having the expectations of, you know, coming downstairs as a little kid, and then when it suddenly is no longer real and it's no longer about Santa Claus, and we know that it's mom and dad.
Coach, that happened to me too.
And what was that? What happened to you, Michelle? You're on mute.
I remember I was in elementary school. I don't know if I was in 4th or 5th grade. And I don't know, maybe I had to be around here, maybe 3rd, 4th, maybe a little older. I don't want to say 12. I don't think I was 12, definitely. I guess in the elementary years, I had to be 4th grade. I was devastated when kids started telling me that there was no Santa Claus. And I used to argue with them because I didn't want to believe it. It took a little while for me to really believe him. I was crying. I wish no one. I was angry because that's a lie. You know.
Well,
it really
here's the thing. Here's the thing for me, Michelle. I said, so what if my dad's Santa Claus?
Oh wow.
And they would be stumped because they didn't know what to say.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you stumped them. You made them think, or you confused them very well.
Yeah, I just was like, so what? I get what I asked for, and I love Christmas.
Oh wow.
And when I asked for too big a present and I put it on my list, my dad says, I don't think Santa's going to be able to manage this one. Can you make it a little smaller?
So you already knew he gave you hints.
Yeah.
You know, that's good though.
Yeah.
But I still think children need to know the truth about Jesus. Well, I don't know why Santa Claus had to get into this. I know there's a history. Oh, Saint Nicholas. He was an actual real saint, right? And he actually gave children toys. I think in England. Am I right, Coach?
Yes.
I forgot. I can look it up. Yeah. And I think that's where it started. You know? And he wore a white suit and everything, I think. He didn't really look like a Santa. So it progressed over the years. It's like, yeah, so thanks for having me to have the mic, Coach.
You are welcome. Sujata, did you want to jump in?
No, I'm listening.
Did you have any experiences like that as a kid?
Not really, because as a kid, the only holiday that I have a vague, faint memory is driving really long distance. When we used to go on these long distance journeys, because my father used to love to drive, and we had a Fiat car, and we had gone all the way to Kashmir from Delhi. So vague memories I know exist of that. So yes, but not too many holiday this thing, because after my father died at age 10, uh, we didn't really have a significant holiday kind of scene. Too busy adjusting to life.
Did you have, was Santa Claus something that your family grew up with?
No, Neither Santa Claus nor any Claus or anybody, because as I told you, that we are not really the types who follow traditions or rituals and all that. I think the closest that we celebrated anything were birthdays, and that we used to do. But other than that, I mean, yes, if there was a festival, we would partake in festive activities within the community. But there was no such thing as Santa Claus. It was there, but in all the books that we used to read.
Oops, sorry, I lost the room for a second.
No worries. Say that again, Michelle.
I accidentally came out of your room for a second.
Oh,
I
no.
accidentally pressed the wrong button and I'm back.
No worries. No worries. Well, I just want to do a quick shout out to Omar or to Maj Kuda. If you would like to come up and share, come on up. I'm going to invite both of you just to see. I know I guess the one of the things, Sujata, was I know that Christmas is a Western thing. Now, did the in the Hindi faith, is there anything where there's a gift giving like that other than a birthday?
Yeah, there are several ones, like maybe you can do Diwali, and there are many festivals where you give a thing. I would lose count, and I used to, I used to follow some of these when I initial years of marriage, when I was trying to be a good daughter-in-law. So I would follow things like that. But something should touch your heart. It's not something that you just do because it's tradition. And we celebrate Christmas in our own way, that we will celebrate it, or we'll probably eat something or go out or do some things like that, etc. I think my mother would have celebrated by doing something at the altar, because she had an altar where she had all these rosaries, crosses, and everything. She had like a mini church in her house. So I think she must have lighted some candles and stuff like that. But yeah, these traditional things which I'm talking of, which you are talking about, Christmas tree and all those gifts from Santa Claus and all, that we have seen. I've seen even Indians follow that. There are a lot of Indians who follow Christmas like that. I don't know about the stocking part, but they do put gifts and all that. We never did it. Even now, I don't really follow any kind of any religion's traditional festivities. In spirit, I do, but not in traditional activities, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For me, it's very important that each day should be a celebration of people. Each day you should be kind, and each day you should do something to impact them, not a one day once a year when you're when you're good as gold and you do your best. What about the remaining 364 days? No Santa Claus, no gifts. Just if you like, give a gift to somebody, just because for the sake of giving a gift, just to
Yeah.
show your appreciation.
Yeah, it's I think sometimes we don't realize how small gifts how they make a difference.
Yes, and when it's at a random day, and imagine you're not expecting anything, and out of the blue somebody sends you something, right?
Yep.
There can be no greater joy than that, because it's heartfelt, and it matters. It's not a ritual. There's a difference between a ritual, and there's a difference between doing something from the heart, for
Yeah.
which there is no particular day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just want to double check in here. I can't remember. How did she say to say her name? Diana.
Diana.
Okay. I thought there was a unique way that she said it. She pottered off to go. She's heading into a tech room. She had an appointment in the tech room. I want to thank Omar for coming in. Sujata, is there anything else that you'd like to cover?
No.
Michelle, anything else you'd like to share about holidays? Michelle? If you are speaking, your mic is stuck. Yes, Sujata.
Maybe she stepped away.
Yeah. Well, I think, and just to let people know, we are going to be moving one of the podcasts to Monday night at the same time as this one. Or do you think we should do it at 9 o'clock instead of 9:30, Sujata?
Yeah, 9 o'clock is also fine.
Okay. Just to get it a little bit earlier and not too late. 9 p.m.
Sounds good.
9 p.m. on Monday instead of Central Standard, which will be 10 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Pacific.
Is it 9 o'clock for me or is it 8 o'clock for me?
Where do you live again?
Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls, New York. So that would be. You're my time zone.
Nope. That will be 10 o'clock your time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep, 10 p.m.
Okay, I'll be there.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward. I'm going to check with Sujata about our topic for Monday, and really looking forward as we go into the holidays to really digging into some of the opportunities that the holidays provide for us to have podcast conversations. So I'm excited, and I want to thank you. Omar, thank you for coming in and listening. It always takes the power of listening to have rooms successful, and so we really, really, really appreciate it. And with that, Michelle, thank you so much for always supporting us and coming in. And for those of you listening on the replays, thank you. And Sujata, I would love it if you could stick around on StreamYard after we close, and we could have a chat.
Will do.
And with that, I'm going to do the famous little bit of goodbye. And Michelle, we will see you tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.